Yeah, we're live.
We're live. Saints go to New England and win. Analytics nerds can suck it. Taysom delivered the dagger, Dave. Defense was awesome. And according to Jameis, God is giving the Saints touchdowns. Thomas, hit the new intro, baby.
Hey, Ralph. Well, Ralphie, Andrew, and Dave. All right, I got a little intel. Your Saints Happy Hour podcast? Yeah. It's a joke, all right? And I'll tell you what, you, Ralph, you mispronounce everything, okay? I listen, I go, what the, does he not know the English language? All right, Ralph, try to get an English class in there every now and then, okay, pal? Hey, Andrew, think you're smart, huh? Think you're smart? You're in big trouble, pal. I eat piece of shit like you for breakfast. And then, of course, there's Dave. Dave, a little obnoxious? Got a little bit of chip on your shoulder, huh? You gotta cut people down all the time? Is that what you gotta do? But know that life is good. Appreciate it. Do what you do. Keep on keeping on. Shooter out.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. Oh, new open. We are big time. Wow. I mean,
I'm jealous. Andrew got the pieces of shit line. Like that's man. He really got lucky. That was the gold right there.
I mean, Andrew's got a Yeti now, and I like the fact that
It's a little phallic, I have to say.
he is feeling the audio issues that I've been feeling for like the last decade.
Is
where
that-
it's like echoing in his house?
That's phallic.
Does
Is
not
that is that what yours looks like? Mine doesn't look like that.
It does not look like that.
Oh, I like this meme.
Oh,
It had to be
Drake.
done. It had to be
Thomas.
done, gentlemen.
Brutal.
Drake meme.
Tough but
Thomas
fair.
thinks
Tough but fair.
our obsession with making the Yeti microphone work is the funniest thing in the world.
It's gonna
Thomas-
get you too, Dave. Don't worry. It's gonna
Thomas
get you too.
Thomas revealed and admitted to us this evening that he operates with a mini Yeti.
Yeah,
Smaller
I have a blue
version.
snowball. Yeah, I have a blue
Yeah,
snowball.
you know,
Yeah.
Hey.
Thomas rolls, a little on the smaller side.
Nowhere near as big as yours.
That's right.
I gotta tell everybody, listen, we're live on Twitch. If you're not following us on Twitch, you should be. Remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. Also become an annual patron at patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour so we can pay Thomas and hire celebrities to do our intros. That's what the money goes for. To get the best Saints podcast every day, sign up before midnight, and you get 2 months for free. You should do it. Also, I want to thank Hamburger Hugger and BSI Bile. They both subbed with Twitch Prime. Remember, if you do Amazon Prime, you can subscribe, and instead of Jeff Bezos getting your money, you can give it to us. So you should do that.
Cajun Sand says, "Can we get a condom on this Yeti?"
Actually, you can. I think.
You need a microphone.
He wants protection.
Right, you need it. Also, make the clip. You can do it in the clip icon to the left in the full screen. You can do it. Make a clip. If it's funny, maybe Thomas will play it next week. Hell, if it's really funny, maybe he'll play it during the show tonight. You never know.
Hey, we had so many last week, by the way, clips. I had
did.
something
People
to choose
are
from
catching
finally,
on.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great job.
So the Saints, they went to New England, first time since 1995. Dave won a football game in New England. That was awesome. The defense, Dave. I am not used to a world where the Saints go 4 deep at corner and just wreck teams with crappy wide receivers like New England. It was pretty amazing to see yesterday where like New England receivers weren't open.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, we've got a defense to hold it up for the offense. Yeah, defense looked great. They scored points, scored 7 points. Malcolm Jenkins pick 6, blocked field goal, gave him great field position. Another interception put him on the 8 or whatever it was. And I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for those 2 plays, the pick 6 and the other interception, who knows? That's 2 touchdowns right there. And so who knows how many points the Saints would have wound up with. Look, just overall, big picture. I said on Wednesday when we did the Spotify green room? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It is a Spotify
Oh, yeah.
green room. People should
Right.
remember to join us.
Yeah, plug it. There you go. But I said, look, this was, the first game, they looked incredible. They looked like they were going to be Super Bowl champions. Jameis Winston was going to be MVP. Second game, exact opposite. Played the worst game they've ever played under Sean Payton. And I said week 3 was going to be the litmus test. Week 3 was going to, after this game, we're going to know exactly what we're dealing with. And that for me, personally, that's exactly what happened. I think I now know what this team is, and this team is a very good defense, one of the best defenses in the NFL, potentially, you could say. And it's a defense that's good enough to overcome a bad offense. We have a not good offense, and until Michael Thomas gets back, I wouldn't even say Traquan. I think this offense needs Michael Thomas to come back to really help them.
Well,
hold on, I'm not done. But this is just a team that they're lacking at wide receiver, at least right now. And Jameis Winston is, I'll say he's serviceable, but he's not. We needed another game to see whether that week 1 performance was something that could be duplicated. And I know this is just one game, but I think that was really an anomaly. I do not think we're going to see any kind of duplication like that. I think we are really going to see the same stuff we've been seeing. And, he's not getting help from his receivers, obviously. He's not getting help from his offensive line, obviously, also. But he's not helping himself because his internal clock.
Wait. Wait. First of all, Jameis has God on his side.
Oh my God.
Thomas, play the sound of Jameis
Please.
explaining the second touchdown pass.
That was all God. I felt 0.
Oh my God.
So I checked it, and that was all God. Like, I was trying to throw that ball away. Marquez went up there and snatched it. So, touchdown, good guys.
So
God's plan, Dave.
you're admitting that you were trying to throw the ball away, which I assume means you're trying to go out of the end zone.
Yes, right.
Any other throwing it away is not good. So
He did. He
you're
said he
trying to
didn't
go
see
out
the
of the
flag.
end
All he
zone.
saw was blue sky because he was falling backwards.
You're trying to go out of the end zone, and 2 guys, 1 offensive player, 1 defensive player, have a play on the ball. So, basically, you failed miserably at trying to throw it away.
Here's the thing,
He's
though.
basically admitting.
Here it is.
There it is.
Look,
Look
look,
at
Sean Payton
your
called
boy.
this
He's just
I know.
Sean
Look,
Payton called this a hold your breath moment.
Callaway.
Look,
Well-
it's a terrible decision. Sean Payton wasn't happy about it. You
Well,
could
we'll
see
get-
it as he walked over to the sideline. But I said this during the game. If Patrick Mahomes made that throw, sure, it's still not a good throw.
Look at Sean. Sean Payton wants to murder kill Jameis.
But
Look,
if Patrick
look at
Mahomes
him.
makes that same throw, I think people are talking about how. Oh, and then somebody just subscribed and just puts it right over Peyton's face.
You can do
Anyway.
that, yeah.
Anyway, I think if Patrick Mahomes makes that throw, I think people aren't second guessing it, and they're talking about how it's like a crazy athletic play, and only Mahomes could make that throw.
Probably, yeah.
Well, Sean
so-
Payton.
Jameis doesn't get the benefit of the doubt on that, but
Well, no,
I do
doesn't.
love how
Yeah.
the media throws a softball to Sean and to kind of bail out of criticizing him publicly and just goes, "Did he see the flag?" And he just shuts that down summarily. He's like, "Nah."
Well, no. Thomas, play the Sean Payton soundbite. He was not nearly as amused with the touchdown as we were.
No, I don't think he knew there was a flag coming. I think it was that, complete or incomplete. We'll look at the tape. We were a bit fortunate there, I think, and Marquez made a play and kind of a hold your breath moment.
By the way, Rob, congratulations on your new job as a audio engineer for the Saints.
Yeah, thank you. Jesus, that audio was terrible, huh? Like, I mean, the Saints audio is shit. I'll just say it.
Coming
And
from
when
us,
I say that, that's bad
Yeah.
audio.
That's right. That's right.
Just saying. But
yeah, no, look, Ralph. It's I feel like through 3 weeks now of this Jameis Winston experiment. Look, I don't know. I don't want to
Fun,
dive
though.
too deep
It's
into
fun.
it because like we're 2-1. I want to
Right.
bask in the glory of this win. It was amazing. It was
Defense.
awesome. The defense looks incredible. But Jameis Winston, like he had the 5 touchdowns in week 1, and that was cool. But like, is he gonna throw for a $150 at some point?
right. I mean,
And being 2-1 also is very fortunate because we are now in a division with the Panthers at 3-0. The
Yeah.
Bucks fortunately lost. They almost won. They
Right.
could have won, but they lost. So now they're 2-1. I mean, this is not the NFC South of recent
Well,
years
here's
where
the-
the Saints are going to be able to just kind of,
Here's
take
the
it easy
problem.
and win this. Like this is going to be a tough. This is going to be.
Here's
a
the problem
road.
with the NFC, as we already are off script, Thomas. I apologize, but here's the problem with the NFC: the NFC East and the NFC North are burning piles of trash. Like both of those divisions. So I think you got to get to 10-7 if you want to have any shot in the NFC, because you're gonna have the Philadelphia trash, Giants trash, Detroit trash, Chicago trash, Atlanta trash. Those are 5 teams. I don't think any of them are getting to 4 wins. So, just saying. Andrew, I want you to explain to me the Saints pass rush in this sense, because you said we want to talk about positive stuff. So we'll put the offense off for just a little bit. And I want to talk about
And never go back to it.
No, Thomas edited highlights of the passing
If you want to
struggles,
stay positive,
I want to stay positive.
don't go back.
Tanyo Passanwa? Like, I'm
Yeah,
going to have to learn how to say his
close
name,
enough.
Andrew.
Sure.
He's really good. Like,
Yeah,
I figured he
Tano
would just be a
Passanwa.
body I wouldn't have to worry about. He's really good.
Yeah, like a sneaky free agent signing. Look, he gets the sack there. No, that's
that's not
Chauncey
him.
Gardner-Johnson. That's Chauncey. CD Deuce. But I thought he was the best pass rusher. What a great diagnosis play there by Demario Davis. Holy cow. I mean, what a game he had. And that's a good hit. Good pressure. Demario Davis again. Demario Davis, I made the comment, I think he's the best player on the team. I stand by that. That's a big hit by Caden Ellis. Seeing some highlights right now. I guess we're just going to highlights.
Yeah,
which
we're
is
just
cool.
The
Like,
defense highlights, because the defense
Yeah,
is awesome
look.
and we want to bask in it, like you said.
these plays, and I think here comes the pick 6. I think there it is
mean-
right there. I mean, just lucky, but good hands
Very
by
lucky.
Malcolm
Whatever,
Jenkins.
man. The no-catching motherfuckers are dead. Long live the catching motherfuckers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Malcolm Jenkins, man, what a pickup he's been. Get him
And
back.
oh-
There's Passanio with the sack.
And here's
Yeah.
here's the
Right on
thing,
cue.
Dave.
Malcolm
This
Jenkins, he was going to be a great cornerback in this league.
There's a block punt by Andrew Dow. I'm glad we kept 7 linebackers because one of them finally made a play.
I mean,
But here's the-
Demario Davis. He's to me, Demario Davis. He's like, I don't know. He seems better to me than like Vilma. I
He
don't,
might
yeah.
be.
I don't,
So
I don't
let's
remember
get-
Vilma
let's get
making
in-
these plays.
Let's
Like,
get into Ralph. Let's get into the debate we were having on Twitter earlier today. Where does Demario Davis fit in the hierarchy of linebackers? And we were talking about this. So like, you've got the Dome Patrol, right? And that's 4 guys right there. And you've got Vilma. That's 5. Demario Davis is top 6.
I
Period,
think
end of
he's
story.
better than Vilma.
think he
Vilma
might
for the Saints
I
was
think he's better
really
than Vilma.
only good for 2 years, and then his knee gave out, and he wasn't really any good.
You know it's sacrilege because like we won a Super Bowl with Vilma, and Vilma was
No.
awesome.
Vilma
I
was
think he's better. I think he's better.
Vilma was exactly what the Saints needed, and the Jets were kind of wrong on Vilma. They traded him to the Saints, and they're like, because his knee's gonna explode, and the Saints got 2 years out of him. Then his knee exploded.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you this:
But if
Demario
we're
Davis,
all saying he's better than Vilma, that means he's a top 5 linebacker in safety.
I I think Demario Davis, if he gets to be all pro for a second time this year, which he's on pace to do, especially if the Saints become a playoff team and this defense is top 3 to 5. He gets a second all pro first team. I think he moves to third all time in Saints linebackers behind
Ahead of
Ricky
Vaughn
Jackson
Johnson
Pat
and Sam
Swilling.
Mills.
Ahead of Sam Mills, because I think two first team all pros trumps Sam Mills' 4 Pro Bowls with the Saints.
I'm
I'm not saying
I'm with Cap Rad drummer guy. I don't know if I said that right, but
Ellerby.
I don't know about the shade you're throwing on Donnell Ellerby here, Ralph. I don't know.
Those 4 games he played for the Saints were awesome.
I'm not saying I never watched the Saints back in the Dome Patrol days, and I'm not going to say that Demario Davis is better than Dome Patrol, but I do think you can make the argument that those guys getting to play together for so many years makes them better, and allows them to do a lot of things.
100%.
And Demario is out here doing it not by himself. I think the Saints have. They've done a much better job of finding decent linebackers in recent years, but I mean, he's definitely in a league of his own on this team and on another level.
You've got a poll in the stream chat. Let's get you guys to vote on this. Is Demario Davis a top 3 Saints linebacker in team history? Obviously,
Not yet, but he's real close. He's real close. I'm telling you.
No, man. Like I would, yeah. I think it's different in the sense, and I think Dave makes a good point. You had 4 linebackers that were amazing playing off of each other. Mario Davis is largely doing this by himself. Quan Alexander was nice when he was playing next to him for a minute, but he's had Quan next to him for like 6 games. And otherwise, it's been a cast of like Zach Bond has played next to him, Alex Anzalone. What else?
Pete Werner.
Pete Werner looks tiny, by the way. I don't
played
know
next to Demario Davis before Anzalone. I'm blanking. I mean, Anzalone was out with a shoulder issue for a year. Who was playing next to
AJ Klein?
AJ Klein, yep.
Yeah.
See, look, Thomas, he knows more about the Saints than we do. I don't know. Like, he's doing it all by himself. Like, if Pat Swilling and Ricky Jackson were on this defense, would Demario Davis not look even better? No, he's doing it all by himself. I'm telling you, he's the best player. I say this knowing full well what Lattimore just did on Sunday, which was amazing. We're going to get to that in a second because I want to talk about the hope that Ralph has in life. When Marshawn Lattimore can intercept a pass with one hand, maybe things are looking up for you, Ralph.
No.
Maybe Lattimore showed you the path there.
The path.
What life can be like with one hand.
I don't. If Lattimore could show me how to get the YETI, the microphone, to work in my house, then he could be my hero. But until then,
you know what's crazy with Lattimore? We talked about how Lattimore, he'd be able to run, he'd be able to cover with a cast on his hand. But with the cast on his hand, obviously catching the football becomes a lot more difficult, and tackling becomes a lot tougher. But what does he do? He goes out, he leads a team in tackles with 10 tackles. Looks amazing against the run, and he intercepts the pass.
Yeah.
Freaking unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and the thing is, he was like the Saints, their highest graded run defender yesterday. I mean, I know PFF is kind of weird.
PFF has Lattimore rated as the #1 corner in the NFL right now through 3 weeks.
Worth the money, unlike Ramczyk, who was kind of terrible yesterday. Which it's a good segue, Andrew. The defense, amazing. We talked about it. But back to this offense. We'll get to Jameis. This offensive line,
hold on. I got to say one more thing about the defense, which is maybe the most hilarious part of this all, is all this time, and I promise this comes back to the offense, all this time we thought corner was the biggest worry we had. We were so worried about corner. We talked about Richard Sherman. We talked about all these dudes that were coming in for visits. There were all these trade rumors. And then finally we give up a 3rd-round pick for Roby to come in and be our number 2 corner. The dude plays 2 snaps in the game because Paulson Adebo is so good that the Saints are like, shit, we can't bench him. We can't play the guy that we just gave up a 3rd-round pick for because our rookie is too good.
Dave, that's a great point. And I said this on Twitter. Somebody was saying about how Troutman is kind of a bust and not what they hoped.
It would have been great to spend the 3rd-round pick on a tight end or a receiver.
Here's
we trade Roby for a receiver?
Here's my thing, Dave. All of the questions we had in the summer about offense and defense, the defense, we got great answers for every single one of them. Who's going to play corner? Adebo is going to be awesome. What's going to happen on the defensive line? Don't worry about it. Passanio and Ringo got it locked down.
Ringo.
Everything on defense has worked out fine. On offense, nothing is working out.
Busty Bond was not a positive experience.
Busty Bond. Thomas, have you created the meter? We're back to Busty Bond.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, what about Alvin Kamara? What was he wearing in his press conference?
He was fully dressed. He was wearing the Tennessee floppy hat again, or the hat again. He's fully dressed. And they won, which was disappointing.
Yeah, I'd like to see no hat, at least. No hat. After a win.
But Andrew, is it fair to knock the offense as much as we have? They ran for 140 yards yesterday. I mean, it was, a ton of carries, and Taysom had a bunch of it at the end. But I mean, the offense, they started great. They finished great. The middle, it was kind of meh. But, are we overreacting a little to this offense?
It's a work in progress. I think it can't get any worse. They're 31st in the league in passing, which for Sean Payton is just unheard of. And honestly, what's funny is 32 is Chicago. You want to know why? Because they had one passing yard.
Right.
One. They had one
net yard passing.
1 yard.
They had six first downs, and 2 of them were by penalty. I mean, that's some Ditka level crap on offense.
They spent a 1st-round pick on Justin Fields too, and they're already like, do we go back to Andy Dalton or do we roll with Nick Foles next week?
He was the savior.
Who's their good receiver that they have?
Allen Robinson?
Yeah, maybe Mickey Loomis can get him.
So, I think offensively there's a lot that's going to evolve here. The Armstead injury is really concerning and a problem.
Oh,
obviously.
Armstead's injured again.
A shocker.
Don't say. Yeah.
Right. But Kenny Stills is getting incorporated, and I just think Kenny Stills might be over the hill. He might not be the same guy he used to be, but look, we're playing Chris Hogan, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Ty Montgomery. I mean, these are guys that are going out for passes, so Kenny Stills is better than all those guys. So, it'll take some time for him to get up to speed. I feel like things are coming around a little bit for Deontay and Marquez Callaway. I feel like this was a game where we at least saw them make some plays. And look, hopefully Traquan coming back and Michael Thomas coming back after that will give this team a little juice. Tight end is
a black hole of sadness.
It kind of, yeah.
But here's
Troutman just ain't it. He just ain't it. He's not ready.
So bad.
Here's the thing, Dave. And here's the thing that people were getting mad at me on Twitter yesterday because I was happy that they won, but I was talking about the offense and I was just saying, look, the Saints do you feel like the offensive problems, is it any different than the defense sucking out loud in September in 2018 and 2017? Is it any different than the defense not being able to defend the bootleg last year? Is it a problem that they can fix?
If they're winning 2 out of 3 games, then what's the problem? I really don't care what the flaw is.
Right. Well, you do and you don't. I mean, you don't care what basically what Ralph is saying is this the same as all those other years when the offense was great and the defense was terrible, and you just hope that you would outscore the other team. And if
they fixed it in 2018, they fixed it in 2017. Is my point.
Right, but if you got into a shootout, then you got into a shootout. And then you get the Saints versus Giants game, whatever, that 49.
Did you watch Drew Brees' comments after on NBC?
He was
So he was really, he had some interesting points, and he was harsher on the offense than I would have expected because he's always Mr. Positive and all that. But he dropped this. He said this offense has no identity when they're throwing the ball. He's like, obviously Kamara is going to do his thing, and he's a guy that they're trying to establish the run with Kamara. But he said this offense, they don't know where they're going with the football. They don't know who to throw to. They don't have an identity. They don't know who to go to when the game's on the line and like who's my guy. They don't have that right now. And what was the word he used, Ralph? Just kind of encapsulated all. He was like, it was basically like it's not good enough.
I mean, they don't have. He said they don't have chemistry together because they haven't played together, and it takes time. But that brings up another point.
Well,
which
wait, but
isn't
to
their
answer-
identity, Dave? Is get the ball to Kamara as often as possible. Like that's the identity for the Saints.
I mean, it should be.
Now.
I mean, who was the leading receiver on the team last year? Kamara. And he should definitely be getting utilized more. I think, you know, Kamara was always there when the play broke down. That's the difference between Drew and Jameis is when a play broke down. Drew Brees, his internal clock, he knows it. Drew is not going to hold on to the football for more than 3 seconds, 4 seconds.
Let me stop you right there.
Whatever.
Let me stop you right there. Is that even fair to say like that's the difference between Drew and like whoever? I'm not happy with the performance of Jameis Winston up to this point, but like the fact that he's even being uttered in the same sentence as Drew.
Well,
it really doesn't matter who was going to come next. No one was going to live up to that.
Well,
legacy.
here's the hard.
Okay, yes, that Andrew, your statement can be correct, and my statement can also be. Yes, I agree with you. It doesn't matter who it is, but it's Jameis, so I'm talking about Jameis because he's the one.
But you compared him to Drew. Is that comparison fair?
Yes, anybody who comes next is going to be compared to Drew. Drew is what we've been watching for the last 15 years, so that's who I'm going to compare to. I think it's totally fair to compare him to Drew.
But if you're saying that, like they're, regardless of who it is, they're all set up to fail. Then
they're not set up to fail. They can succeed if they're great quarterbacks. But okay. But I don't think Jameis is a great quarterback. But my point is that we're not getting that anymore. The Saints offense is not getting it anymore. They don't have somebody. I don't give a shit who it is. It's not Drew Brees. But they don't have anybody who can just gets rid of the football. If the play is not there, it's not there. You get rid of the football, and Drew got rid of it. And oftentimes it was to Alvin Kamara, and it was because a play broke down, and it was his last option, and Alvin was there as a safety valve, whatever. And I have to imagine that he's still there, and he's still available to Jameis, and Jameis is just not doing it. He's trying to extend plays. I don't know how you can argue against this. He's extending plays longer than I think he needs to be extending plays.
I think there's also a reality that this personnel doesn't fit with like I realize that Jameis Winston has a higher ceiling than Teddy Bridgewater, but I would rather have Teddy Bridgewater in this offense. If this is what the Saints are going to do,
wouldn't it just be a different problem though? Wouldn't we just be frustrated with Teddy?
Yes.
Would be like he throws balls short of the sticks, and
it would be frustrating, Ralph. But here's the thing: like clearly, the game plan right now is don't turn the ball over, throw for 130 yards, complete passes, play it safe, and like if that's going to be your offense, then give me Teddy Bridgewater because I know he can go execute that.
But here's the thing. Like, don't you feel like, and Seth Galina from PFF, he's obviously a Saints fan. He broke down a bunch of video today. There was a lot of plays yesterday. He broke down about 5 of them where, like, guys were open and Jameis just held onto the ball too long. And we saw that with Teddy. But, Andrew, in 2019 with Teddy, it got better. Remember, we were so frustrated with him. And then he played Arizona, and he had a huge game,
Lit him up,
right?
yeah.
So, can it get... My point is, can it get better a little bit? Thomas plays my tweet. Jameis is never changing. LOL. It was true. He
puts a tweet up and then Ralph goes, he can change, right?
He can change. If you can change, I can change. We can all change.
Yeah.
But
Ralph, let me just tell you something. I think that you should go with your gut, and your gut was the tweet. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. Your gut is never wrong. That's what your mother would tell you. She would say, "Listen to your gut," and
My gut's wrong a lot.
well, maybe.
I mean,
You
his
probably
gut
made
has
lot
a
of,
lot of cherry Coke and honey
you've
bourbon in it,
Honey
so
bourbon.
I don't know
you've
about
probably
that.
made
I don't
a
know
lot
if
of
he
poor,
should trust that gut. I don't
yeah,
know.
you've probably made a lot of poor life decisions
Bird
along the
dog
way.
caramel bourbon is the shit.
But anyway, to answer your original question, Ralph, I don't think that this offense is going to change much until Mike Thomas and Traquan Smith are both back, and both, and I mean both of them. They need both of them to be back, and even then, I wouldn't guarantee it. But I'm just saying it's definitely not happening unless those guys are back.
Well, I want to talk about this, and because this made yesterday as fun as it was, this was the cherry on top of everything. The Saints, for the dagger, Andrew, they used Taysom Hill, and yeah, it was a lot of quarterback power, but Sean Payton, I see him, he started to mix in it's quarterback power. No, it's a pop pass, but Taysom's like, no, he's covered. I'm just going to run for the first down anyway. My point is this. Are they going to mix in more Taysom Hill as we go forward?
I hope so.
To help them. And
This
is
is the
Sean
best thing
Payton
the
going to have
offense-
enough confidence in Taysom to be like, it isn't just going to be quarterback power, my man. We're going to start throwing some stuff. We're going to get weird.
I sure hope so, because Taysom Hill is the best thing this offense has going right now. And I don't say that like in an excited way. I kind of lament that that's the best thing this offense has going. And look, I'll give Deontay Harris some credit. And Jameis threw a couple good balls there, and Deontay made a couple big plays on that last drive.
He's their best receiver right now.
Oh yeah, and those were important plays, important first downs. Then it came time to run the clock out, and game was on the line, and Sean Payton went to Taysom. He said, Taysom, go win this game for me, and he did that. And they knew it was coming. They knew he was running the ball. They knew exactly what side he was running the ball.
Dad says more Taysom, so I'm just saying.
And they couldn't stop it. So
yeah,
Taysom is always going to be, I think, a polarizing thing in New Orleans, just because I really don't think he can do it at quarterback. And yet, when the game's on the line and he's running the ball, I mean, sometimes he's won games for the Saints, with just his moxie and his physical commitment running the football, and it's awesome to see.
Selfishly, Andrew, I want more Taysom because Taysom drives clicks on the internet. He's good for business, but also he makes the stat nerds cry. They were
Jameis
desperate
also
for him
needs
to screw up yesterday, and he dropped the dagger in.
Jameis needs to throw him the damn ball too, because he threw into triple coverage to Adam Troutman on a play where Taysom was wide freaking open. So I'm sorry, but like he needs to start getting thrown to as well if Jameis can get over himself and throw it to him. But I don't know, man. I do think here's Taysom here taking a snap. Here comes the hurdle play, I hope. No,
not yet.
Decent run there, but it's coming.
But still, that's 4 yards. I'll take it.
Is this the final drive, Thomas?
No, this is just highlights of Kamara running
highlights.
the ball.
Okay.
But look, the offensive line, New England's got a good. Their run defense is kind of shaky, but the Saints, they ran the ball. New England knew it was coming and couldn't stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of up and down. Here it comes. Here is this the hurdle right here? Oh man, what a play that was! My God.
Look,
that was awesome.
Dave, that's worth $12 million. I don't care what anybody says.
Look at this. Whoop!
Look, regarding Taysom, they were setting up that pop pass play all game. Because every time Taysom came in, he took the snap and he ran it. Everybody knew what was coming, so I think they were setting that up. But I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know whether you agree. Maybe the whole thing with Taysom and putting him in and getting him that touchdown. Maybe that was Sean Payton's way of sending Jameis a message after his.
He doesn't trust Jameis.
Pass.
How many times did the Saints run on third down in this game? How many times? I don't know. I feel like Sean Payton was constantly in Jameis Winston's ear saying, don't turn it over. Don't turn it over. Whatever you do, I don't care if you make a nice pass. Do not turn it over. I care more about you not throwing a pick than any good pass you could make in this game. I feel like that was the game plan. He was in his ear constantly about that. And I do think Jameis Winston looked very gun shy.
Well, I want to remind people again, donate. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to our channel. We get Jeff Bezos' money. Go to twitch.tv.saintshappyhour if you're listening to just the audio-only version. Give us some love. Dave, really and truly the only thing that deeply concerned me about yesterday, the kicker was
Rosas.
He's still on the team?
Rosas.
He still is on the team.
He is still on the team.
He is
officially
As of today.
Some kind of
What are the odds he kicks against the Giants? By the way, his former team.
Yeah. I don't know. Can Lutz come back? Lutz isn't eligible to come back yet, right? So.
Oh, Lutz is eligible.
Oh, Lutz is. I think you go. I think they're gonna go Lutz.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Lutz is ready physically.
I always like a guy going against their old team, so I don't know.
Rojas revenge game.
Solve your problems with aggression.
All the problems with aggression.
Look, missing a 52-yarder, especially outdoors in Foxborough,
That's not
any,
bad.
any kicker can shank that. Missing from 36.
That looked like
no
me
kicker
with a
can
pitch
miss
and wedge
that ever.
from 50 yards out, Dave. The second
How do we
one.
get Justin Tucker? Like, do we have to
Dude,
trade
that
for him?
guy.
Does he ever hit the free agent market?
No.
Ever.
You'd
I
have
don't
to
know.
buy the YETI, Dave.
Yeah.
You know, one thing though is, Dave, the Saints have been gone for like 20 something. I think it's 29 days or whatever post Ida. And I want Thomas to play the soundbite of Taysom talking about the Saints surviving the chaos, because I think what they've done to get to 2-1 is pretty freaking remarkable. Thomas, hit that soundbite.
I think that we've proved that we can handle a lot of chaos, and you play in the NFL long enough, and you're going to have trials, you're going to have, different things that come up, and really what shows of a good, resilient team is how you handle, chaos and difficult situations. And this goes from the top down, from management to our equipment guys, our trainers. Everyone is all in New Orleans, and the fact that they had the ability to pick up and move to Dallas. We were at two different hotels, going to play in Jacksonville. We have a really resilient team. We got a team that knows what it takes to prepare to win football games no matter what.
I mean, my point is, Dave, if they were 0-3, we'd be like, well, shit, it's just not our year. All this crap has happened to them. They're having a ton of injuries, and what are you going to do? I think what they've done the last month is actually more impressive than what they did in 2006 to start the year. Because in 2006, the city was rebuilding from Katrina, but the Saints weren't displaced. They were practicing in the facility. They were doing anything. I think this is as impressive as anything Sean Payton has accomplished since he's been here. This 2-1 start.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I guess.
Do we need to recap for you, Dave? We need to recap that Michael Thomas is out, Traquan Smith is out.
no, but
McCoy-
that's not
Aaron
Aaron
talking
McCoy is
Yamada.
out.
New
Oh, but
quarterback.
You're
The
talking
coaching
about
staff
new
had the
quarterback.
Rona. I mean,
Half the
oh.
coaching staff is out with the coronavirus.
Well, I didn't know you were talking about like
Displaced.
actual player
All of it.
issues. I thought
All
you were
of
just
it.
talking about having to deal with the logistics of moving a team and playing.
How many NFL teams, you give them the same situation. You lose wide receiver 1, you lose wide receiver 2, you lose two of your best pass rushers, you lose 2 of your offensive linemen, you lose your second best linebacker. You miss Lattimore, your best cover corner for the second game. You miss your slot corner. Your kicker's out. Your defensive tackle is suspended. Like all that stuff. Okay, then you get hit with the Rona. It explodes under your coaching staff. You lose half your coaching staff, and a hurricane hits your city, and you're displaced for a month. If that happens to any other NFL team in the league, including the Chiefs with Mahomes, by the way, are 1-2 without all those problems. Any other team in the league, how many are not 0-3? How many? 1, 2?
I don't know. You may be discrediting a lot of other teams. I won't speak about what other teams would be, but if you're talking about all of that,
okay,
if you're
you're
talking
just
about
being
all of that and
contrarian.
saying,
Who?
no, I'm not. I'm about to say.
Which team would pull that off?
Wait, hold on.
The Saints would be the Jets of the South, Dave.
If you are talking about all of that and taking that into account, if you're basically saying that given all the circumstances, not just including Hurricane Ida and evacuating, but you're talking about also your player situation and the COVID situation and your coach situation and all that. If you're talking about all of that and you're saying it's very impressive that Peyton has this team at 2-1, yes, I would agree with that. How many other teams could do that? I don't know. The Chiefs, I don't know. I don't know what they can handle. I have no idea.
The Chiefs are 1-2
without.
Whatever.
I don't know. Take any 2-1 team. The Cowboys are about to be 2-1. How could they handle it? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know them as well as I know the Saints. Obviously, we're in New Orleans. We're a very resilient people, and we know how to handle all this evacuation, hurricane crap. And we have plans for this kind of stuff. I mean, like even Tulane. Tulane had an evacuation plan that they practiced, that they did a dry run for,
and they're 1-3.
No, I understand that, but my point is that the Saints to Andrew's point. By the way, screw you. But to Andrew's point, the Saints may be better. So terrible. It does not sound like that on my phone. The Saints may be better equipped to handle this because maybe other teams don't have like an evacuation plan or something like that.
Dave, Alf, can you get me someone on this podcast that can just back up that the Saints are awesome? That doesn't have to cut people down. A little obnoxious there, Dave.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Fuck you, Andre George.
I got you, Dave.
Thank you.
There we go.
We need more of that one.
Yeah, we do.
Less of the sound.
I mean,
less of the. This didn't sound like that on my phone.
This with the Saints, I will say this: of all the Saints have had an avalanche of awful just thrown at them, but Andrew, the schedule has set up pretty nice, as Dave would say, pretty good. They got Green Bay to start. It didn't go good in Carolina. They got New England with a rookie quarterback. They get the winless Giants. Then they go to Washington, play the Washington football team, who are 1-2 and are playing Atlanta, maybe 1-3 after Sunday. So this schedule, I mean, I don't know how you could set it up any better. Maybe instead of the Redskins, you could slide the Jets in there. And then it would be like the dream. But as far as the schedule setup, it's pretty much everything you could hope for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of winnable games, starting with the next two. And look, I think right now when you look at the Saints roster, you can't take these games for granted. You can't look at the schedule and say, I think the offense is playing so bad that you can't look at the schedule and say, Giants win, football team win. They got to go out there and they have to win those games because I think it can go either way. They could win or lose those games. But if they pull them off, both of them, you look at a team that all of a sudden is 4-1 with all the adversity we just talked about. And I'm not going to lie, like I'm getting like goosebumps on my skin just thinking about 4-1 with all this adversity. And then Onyemata comes back and Lutz is back. Michael Thomas is back, and Quan Alexander's back. Davenport's back. McCoy's back. Yeah. Holy shit! Like all of a sudden, this team is 4-1, and you've got all this talent that wasn't on this team that helped them get to 4-1. It's a little scary to think how much better they can be.
People are piling on Dave in the chat, and I love it. Like they're calling him they're calling him the Matt Nagy of fans. I love it. They're just body slamming Dave in the chat, and that's why you need to join us on the Twitch live stream if you listen to this podcast later, because the people in the chat will just deliver mob justice to Dave, and it's delightful.
Calling
Listen.
Dave the Matt Nagy of this podcast is
I want to say, Thomas,
poetry.
Over the line.
we covered the Saints injuries a little with Armstead. But so
Hallelujah.
I want to get to the trivia. This trivia question that I came up with, this one is freaking ridiculous. Thomas, hit the people with the trivia.
When was the last time Saints lost an October home game?
The last time they lost any October game is 2015 versus the Chiefs. But Dave and Andrew, when was the last time the Saints lost a home game in October?
Since they're playing the Giants, well, no, they haven't lost to the Giants at home. I haven't seen that in a while.
All right, sorry, I'm back. I missed all that.
I'm gonna say the Redskins.
When was the last time the
When?
Saints
Oh,
lost
when?
an
What year?
October home game? Okay, this was 6 years ago, I want to say.
No.
So I want to say it was like 2015, 2014.
Nope. Go
Longer ago?
longer.
It's not RG3, is it?
No,
Home
it's
opener?
It's
I was thinking
that's a
Redskins.
September game. You got to think
Yeah, that's
October,
right.
Andrew.
Oh, yeah, okay. Is it the Falcons?
No,
Keep guessing.
Oh,
a long time ago.
last time they lost.
Maybe
In
look at the
09
silhouette.
In 09, they lost to the Bucks.
I am looking at the silhouette. How is that going to help us determine what team?
Oh,
it
look at the
was?
silhouette. It looks like Matt Ryan.
You're gonna
gonna say
remember it when
2006.
when it hits you. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, but it's gonna blow your mind how long ago it was.
2006.
No, it's not.
No. Is it 2013?
Getting closer. Still pretty far away.
2012?
Nope.
14?
Somebody in the chat's getting close.
It's 2011?
No.
Why don't you just tell us the name
Tell
of
us?
the movie?
Roll that beautiful bean footage, Thomas.
Okay, there we go.
2010. Oh, was it Max Hall? Oh
It
my
was-
God, Colt McCoy.
That's right.
Holy cow. Last
mean,
time they lost the
Is that
home
Fujita
game
for
was
interceptions?
over 10 years, over
Wait,
a
was that
decade
for
ago.
interceptions?
correct.
Was that 4 linebacker interception game?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's when
Fujita had 2 of them.
Fujita kept intercepting Drew Brees.
He had
That's
2.
right.
He had 2.
The Browns
yeah.
ran a fake punt for like 80 yards.
Oh shit! I remember that one.
Like-
Ooh, that one was
God.
brutal.
The Saints,
It's the same year we lost to Max Hall.
yeah, the Saints are as sure of a bet in October as the sun coming up tomorrow. Like they kick ass in October, and even in their struggles, Andrew, because they would start out bad in the bad defense years 14, 15, and 16, but they would win in October, get to 5-5, right? They'd start 1-4 and 1-5, and then they'd get back to 500. They just crush teams in October. So, I mean, I was really proud of that trivia question. The hotline, Dave, your baby. I need to say this. The hotline, it had some really, really quality entries this week, but the volume was down. We need more people calling into the hotline
Come on, people.
and
Come on.
celebrating. Dave's baby was a struggle this week, but Thomas, play the hotline. We had some good ones this week. It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour Hotline.
So fuck it. That's it. That's the voicemail. That's it. Play me on the show. Or don't play me on the show. I don't give a fuck.
I can't be the only one who's sick and fucking tired of hearing these guys just suck Mac Jones' dick the entire fucking game. Just stop talking about Mac Jones already. He's shit.
26 years. 26 years since we've won in New England, and it feels so damn good. We should have had 34 points. Rosas missed those 2 kicks, but you know what? I don't give a f***. It was a really good game. Defense was dominant again with 3 takeaways. This is your 2021 New Orleans Saints at work. Last week was an aberration. We'll probably have another clunker during the season, but you know what, fellas? This shit feels good.
Sean Payton, over the last 3 years or so, has fucking mastered the art of the boring road win. He goes on the road, and it is just like the most efficient, boring game where you're kind of stressed, but not really, and everything is just fucking under control. And God, if he'd been able to do this 10, 12 years ago, who the fuck knows, like, how many rings the Saints would have. But yeah, that was just brilliant, and it's proof this is a coach's league. This is not a player's league. All the other pro sports are fucking players' leagues. This is the coach's league, and Sean Payton is the fucking coach. Who dat?
I'm proud our defense could welcome Mac Jones to the NFL truly by hitting him a few times to get him to throw 3 picks. This was definitely a great defensive win. Jameis Winston didn't fuck up too much, and we got back to establishing the ground game, which was a must. I'm always nervous when I see Jameis Winston go back to throw, and he's just like kind of Taysom Hill with slightly better mechanics, considering he also seems to hold the ball for 5 seconds longer than he should because he just wants the big play. Jameis, I hate your experience. Can I end this subscription?
My favorite part was the guy who said that last week's game was an aberration, which by definition means it's rare and really only happens once. And then he followed that up by saying it's probably going to happen again.
I like. I want to talk about Thomas's. I want to talk about Thomas's censorship choices.
Yeah,
like, apparently
that's
the F word is over the line, but anything else, anything else.
That's my D. You come right in. You're good. Yeah.
We're getting there, you know.
The censor, Thomas is censoring it. It's lax.
Yeah,
it's lax.
I'm with
Thomas.
like I gotta tell you, when I read Twitter and I read these complaints about, you know, this ain't gonna get done in the playoffs, and this ain't gonna do this, you know, and this pass by Jameis Winston, that ain't gonna work, you know, when we're in the wild card round and we're playing against this team.
It's horseshit ball carrying, I know that. Horseshit.
I never get more pleasure than when I read that, because like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't really care if the Saints win 3-2.
God, I hate to hear that.
If they win 50-10, like, it's a celebration anytime the Saints get a W. You know, I'm a Saints fan. The style points are for suckers. So,
dude, you can't win a Super Bowl in September, baby. You just got to win the freaking games. Because here's the thing.
Just win, baby.
We can say, oh, the Saints, Dave, we can say, oh, they can fix this passing game. They can improve that. They can improve this. And they're 2-1, and they still have a lot to play with. The Giants, they're 0-3, and they've lost 2 games on the final play. Their season is donezo. You know, they're a couple plays from being 2-1 or whatever.
Oh, but I just you know, like, this was the thing that Drew Brees said that I forgot. This was the comment he made that I forgot to mention. And this is the flip side of this, and I do agree with Brees. He said, you know, the NFL is a passing league, and a number of games are decided by the plays you make passing in the final 2 minutes of the game. Mm-hmm. And the Saints have been fortunate through 3 games, they're 2-1 now, where they really have not had to make a passing play in the last 2 minutes of the game to really win. And you know, they got a big first down there on a throw to Deontay, but who knows if the Patriots would have been able to get the ball back and go down and score on that defense. So the point being, the Saints are eventually going to get in those games where Jameis has to do something in the final 2 minutes, and this passing offense better figure things out pretty quickly, because that's when he's going to have to make those plays if the Saints want to continue winning. So I agree with them there. But that being said, 2-1.
They're 2-1. Like, if you'd have said, Dave, if I'd have gave you 2-1 the night before the Green Bay game, you would have taken it with a heartbeat, right? Like, you'd be like, I don't care.
Not even a question.
Yep.
Then I would have immediately tried to negotiate. Can I get Carolina? I don't care about the other two. Can I get Green Bay and Carolina? I'll give you New England.
Give you
New
know,
England. So it didn't really play out the way I was hoping, but 2-1. It's cool. It's cool.
It's an AFC game.
Yeah.
But Thomas, play the music. Fire up the hotline. I mean, not the hotline. Fire up the take it to the top. We got a question. Question. I'm on tilt.
Finger guns, Ralph.
Finger gun. Like Shooter McGavin now.
Shooter. By the way, Ralph, why don't you throw away that Rosas fathead? Get rid of that thing. Yeah. You don't need that thing anymore.
I love you, Rosas. I'll never part with you. One bad game. I'm not giving up.
You're a better man than I.
Well, I'm glad that Pete Warner had some good snaps as a coverage linebacker, and you proceeded to put him as a fathead on your wall.
That's right.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah. Pete Warner, he's small for a linebacker. I'm saying. So
He
Thomas,
he can cover.
What next?
Okay, we had a shit ton of questions as always. So if yours didn't get asked, I'm sorry, but first question comes from Brewjammer, and he asks, does Alvin look like he knows this team sucks? His body language reminds me of when he was hurt.
I felt that way in the second game for sure. But I don't know. I feel like this week he was fully committed. I mean, he took a beating physically in this game. He was totally committed to finishing his runs. So I don't know that I agree with that. The Panthers game for sure. But I thought he played his ass off in this
Dave,
game.
how because I ripped on Carolina because they gave McCaffrey 30 touches the first 3 games and he got hurt. Shocker, hamstring. He's not going to be on IR, but he's going to be out probably 2 to 3 weeks. How many touches do you want Alvin Kamara to have, knowing that you can't do what they did against the Patriots and give him 27 to 30 every week? Like, what's the magical number that you want every week?
20,
for Alvin
I guess. 20. But yeah, I don't know. At least he's at least 20.
And Tony Jones Jr., man, he runs good. Andrew, I think they need to give.
They didn't use him.
I
much.
feel like
They
he
didn't
should
use
have.
him much
I
this week.
feel like Tony Jones should get more touches than he got in this game.
Yeah, he didn't. They didn't use him much at all. I was surprised.
I would like to see 5% less Kamara, and like 3% more Tony Jones Jr., 2% more Taysom.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the original question about Kamara being upset, just bigger picture, I guess. I mean, do you guys think that, if you've got Jameis as your quarterback and maybe he's not, slinging it around as much as Drew is, do you think that there's any resentment in the locker room from an Alvin Kamara or any of the receivers, because, they're not putting up the numbers they want to put up, for their film and for their contracts and that kind of stuff?
I mean, a little bit. I think probably if you're a receiver, Andrew, and you watch that tape from yesterday and you're like, and there's 3-4 times where you're like, dude, if I was there, like, you got to hit me. I think it, not that they would complain or chirp because the Saints are winning, but it's got to be frustrating.
I saw Callaway show some body language frustration on one throw. Where I don't know if you remember this, but he kind of pumped, and if you watch the all 22 tape, like Callaway comes out of his break and he's open, and he gets gun shy. He's kind of second guessing, and then finally he just like throws it as hard as he can, and it's like at Callaway's feet. You can see Callaway just kind of like up his hands, body language, just like, what the hell, man? I was open, like just make the throw. So no, I do think there's a little bit of that going on, yeah. Also, I don't know if you remember the first third down of the game. There was a crossing route to Hogan, and Hogan was open, and he missed.
That would have been a huge play.
Yeah, and he missed them wide, and it's like, I know these receivers aren't great, but shit, Jameis, you got to hit him.
When the lacrosse player is open, you got to hit him.
Yeah.
What next?
Just a total aside, Chris Long is with Peyton and Eli on the broadcast, and he's got a Gleason jersey in the background.
Oh yeah. The Peyton Eli thing.
He's still supposed to come on the show. He keeps dodging me.
He lives in your town, right?
They need to have either Peyton or Eli develop a gambling addiction, and then their live stream would be like 35% more fun. If one of them had
more sponsored.
Yeah, like if one of them had like serious units on the game, it would be much more enjoyable. That's just.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, like if Eli had like $450,000 on the Eagles, it gets spicy.
450.
You know what I'm saying?
Holy shit!
But anyway,
what next?
Okay, next question from Deuce101. What is that wristband with the zippered pocket that Sean Payton was wearing? What do you think he keeps in there? His secret Taysom place?
His promise ring. He asked Taysom to give back the promise ring. Now he's tucked it in the.
Is there a picture of this? He's got like a zippered pocket wristlet.
Look, at least he doesn't wear the fanny pack like Bruce Arians.
Like a small baby.
A Kevin sound like hitting us like a right hand out of nowhere. Like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's here. For 1 second.
He's always here. He's in our hearts.
I would just assume extra juicy fruit.
Here, Thomas, play the Demario Davis pregame, and I want people that are watching on the live stream, focus your eyes on Jameis Winston. He is hilarious.
Do you not have audio here?
I don't know.
I disabled the audio.
Look at him. He's talking to Deontay Harris like I talk to my son at the park.
Well, because both of you have to bend down just to get at eye level with them. Jameis has to bend down to get at eye level with 5'6" Deontay, and you have to bend down to get at eye level with your son. But he's just so flamboyant and overly dramatic, and like
he is definitely.
It's a little much. It's over the top.
Yes, he's just so freaking try hard. He is such a try hard. He's so extra.
He wants
I think all kids would say he's extra.
He wants so bad to be the Saints franchise quarterback. He really does. And I want him to do well. I want Jameis to succeed. He wants it so bad.
What next?
He's more suited to be a youth pastor or something. Like no, I'm serious. Like he wants to touch people's lives and inspire them,
stupid,
and that kind of stuff. And he's just he's just better off doing that. Don't worry about.
He needs to process defense better.
Yeah, I guess.
So Thomas, hit us again.
What next?
Okay, next question from Budrich. Budrich asks.
Yeah, buddy.
What would you say to Winston for every Winston throw?
What does this question mean?
Would you say to Winston for every? I would say no. Why?
I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Dave? Because this is an interesting question.
Whatever you think, do the opposite.
I don't.
Costanza. do the opposite. But here's my question, Dave. If you're Sean Payton and you beat into Jameis's head, no turnovers, no turnovers, no turnovers, but then you put on the tape and you're like, but why aren't you throwing to all these open dudes? So how do you balance that out if you're the Saints?
Yeah, that's the that's $1 million question right now. I think that's what they're struggling with. I think I was talking, and by the way, you should check out Budrich, his dad, Matt's dad, Alan. Sorry, Alan.
Big Rich.
Big Rich. He has Under the Dome. You guys should check out that podcast. They're cool guys. And I was having a chat with him, and I agree with him. It seems like Jameis right now is in a conundrum of sorts where he has been coached by both Drew Brees and Sean Payton through this experience to like settle for completions, don't turn the ball over, let the game come to you, all this stuff. And he's saying all the right things. You hear him saying, be Bruce Wayne, don't be Batman. You hear all this stuff. And I feel like you see that whole thing, the whole conundrum play out in his head as he's dropping back to pass on every throw. And it's like he looks downfield and he's like, I want to make this throw, but I shouldn't make this throw. And a couple times a game, he'll still make that throw, right? Like the touchdown pass to Callaway, the couple picks the week before. Like every once in a while, he's like, fuck it, I'm chucking this. But like for the most part, it's like you see that the wheels turning in his head, and he's like, should I throw this? I really want to, but Sean told me not to.
But here's the thing, Dave. He's not even doing the Drew Brees dump off and get to 2nd and 7. He's taking a sack or throwing it into the ground.
No, right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. This was the same issue with Taysom. Like we saw Taysom in the preseason, and that was the one criticism we had with Taysom was that he took so long. He was waiting for guys to get wide open. He wouldn't throw a guy open, or he wasn't reading, or he wasn't processing, and he just was not getting rid of the football fast enough. And I'm going to be honest with you, if Jameis and Taysom are both going to have that issue, I would maybe rather go with the guy who can just tuck it and run.
Yeah. Club time. No.
Instead of taking a sack, at least Taysom has the ability to bust one loose or get a tackle or something like that. I'm serious.
I mean, I got it. Let's see how Jameis does because you got Seattle's defense sucks. The Giants' defense, we'll see. I mean, they got some players, but they're good linebackers injured. We'll see. But speaking of that, it's game prediction time.
Wait, are we on with the questions? We still have.
We're not done with the questions. Okay.
No.
Sorry.
He just assumed that Budrich is always the chef's kiss.
Yeah, I was like,
no.
It all comes to a crescendo with Budrich.
I didn't want it to be obvious, I have to mix it up sometimes.
All right, what next? What we got?
Okay, next question comes from King Okra, and he asks, has Juwan Johnson been abducted by the aliens?
That's a good question.
Or is he in the witness protection program?
Well, I cut him off my fantasy team to get the Marlboro stink off of him. So hopefully he'll be back
for 100 yards next week.
I mean, my God, like he's total he caught 2 amazing touchdowns and now he's gone. Like
he's gone where all Saints tight ends go, and that's just poof. They vanish into the wind, never to be seen again.
The land of misfit
you
toys.
guys all were so hard on Jared Cook. You're maybe second guessing that one a little bit, huh?
Looking at
Jared Cook's looking pretty nice right now.
I was looking at last year's receiving stats, and I'm pretty sure Jared Cook was the 3rd leading receiver behind Kamara and Emmanuel Sanders.
It makes me almost want to vomit.
I mean, hit him where I don't miss Jared Cook. They just Nick Vanette's going to be back. He's going to save the day, Dave. Don't you worry.
Jesus Christ, what are you smoking?
Dan Arnold is getting traded for C.J. Henderson and such.
I mean, Urban Meyer, is he the dumbest son of a bitch on the face of the earth? I want a 3rd-round pick, and I want Dan Arnold. Do you think like Carolina put him on mute?
Said no one ever.
Do you think Carolina like put him on mute? And are you like, are we sure this is really Urban Meyer? Did he just want Dan fucking Arnold? Are you? Tell him yes and no takebacks.
Carolina's like he said Sam Darnold, right? He didn't say Dan Arnold, did he? He said Sam Darnold.
Dan Arnold.
Ralph can't say anyone's name right.
His way back to the Saints. I feel it in my bones.
That's what they say.
All right.
What next?
Okay, last question, Ralph.
Oh, I got the question.
The Wicker Man. That last question. This is the last question.
The Wicker Man.
If Mickey Loomis were to play the piano for a Saints player, who would it be, and what song would he play?
Okay, we got to set this up first of all. For people that don't know, that aren't Pelican fans, maybe you don't follow.
Yeah.
The rumor was that the Pelicans general manager, David Griffin, who apparently everybody in the Pelicans organization hates, he wanted to play he wanted to go to Zion's room in the bubble and play the piano for him. Which is just hysterical on like 9,000 levels. And by the way, Pelican podcast, I'm listening to podcasts and they're like, I don't want to talk about the piano. This is real. I want to talk about everything. Dude, if Mickey Loomis played the piano for any Saints player, Andrew, Thomas would just be playing like Billy Joel Piano Man the entire show.
We would do 7 podcasts on it.
That is the worst joke I've ever heard.
I have so many questions. I mean, one be like, what was the goal? What was his objective? Was he gonna play like Eye of the Tiger on the piano to like get him?
He wanted to seduce him, you know.
Was he playing a love song to like try and win him to sign him to some contract? Was he? Wow.
Is he playing like All by Myself?
Both denied that happened. So I don't know.
How good at the piano is David Griffin? Was
Griffin
he just going to go play chopsticks?
The piano.
I mean, did he walk in there just to play chopsticks, or like what's going on? Yeah,
I want to believe.
I mean, that's harmless.
In my heart, it's true.
I would to answer the question. I think it's got to be Mickey Loomis playing to Demario Davis playing Ave Mario.
I think it's Mickey. I think he's flying out to Seattle, and he's playing it for Russell Wilson.
Ooh,
like he's playing like. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? Or you know,
have I called lately to say that I love you?
Yeah, like if you're gonna play the piano for somebody, it might as well be an All-Pro quarterback. I'm saying.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm thinking, I'm a little more personal. So I mean, I feel like Peyton's gonna be playing like a Jimmy Buffett song or something. But I don't know.
No, I think you go. I think you go
or
Carnival
Kenny
Time.
Chesney.
I think you go Carnival Time by Al.
I will tell you how it's gonna sound.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone. Y'all love
That's how it's gonna sound.
Thomas, you're the best.
Y'all love that soundbite. We need more of the Kevin. We need more of the Kevin baby soundbite.
I need a
like a small baby.
I want that on a shirt. It does not sound like that on my phone. With the Saints Happy Hour logo. Get that.
Sounds better on my phone.
Get that in the Saints Happy Hour store, Dave.
I know. I need to do this.
Like yesterday.
So now, Thomas, I'm sorry I went out of order. I jumped the gun. I thought the Budrich question. That's how we wrap it up with questions. You tricked me. You went. I went right. You went left. So now we got game predictions. Last week was not a strong week for the show. We went 0-4. People got on us as like we give a damn. Anytime you're yelling at us on social media, that's good for the show. So Thomas, I forgot. I'm supposed to go left to right? So we start with Andrew.
Thomas, can you like up the brightness and the highlights on my face here? I'm looking...
Take better photos, man. That's
Everybody...
the quality of the
Yeah,
photo.
take better photos, Dave.
Like
I don't understand. It looks so good on Dave's phone.
What do you want me
his
to do,
iPhone
man?
pictures, his images. It looks so
I
much
upped it.
clearer on his phone.
I upped it, you know.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
My picture's so bad. I wouldn't allow kids.
You were
around
saying,
me.
Dave?
Good God,
I
man.
wasn't.
All right, Andrew, you're up first.
Dave looks like he spent 6 weeks in the Bahamas in that picture.
I'm gonna submit some headshots.
I think it's gonna be an ugly, disgusting, awful game. We're gonna be in the dome. We're gonna be excited, but like, offense is gonna look bad. Daniel Jones is gonna break some like 60-yard run. It's just gonna be
in the dome. Am I going to a Saints game this weekend?
Yeah, it's in the dome. I think it's just we're all gonna feel awful, but the Saints are gonna win. They're gonna win 17-14. It's gonna be ugly.
That's 13?
Was it 13? What did I say? 17-13, yeah. And it's going to be ugly. My player of the game, I think offensively,
he looks like a star today. Thanks.
Jameis is going to look terrible. The fan base is going to ready to be burning him to the ground. And I'm going to love it because Deontay Harris is going to run back a punt in this game, and that's going to be the difference. And Saints are going to be 3-1, and everyone's going to be irate on Saints Twitter, and I'm just going to find it hilarious. I'm just going to be so happy. I'm like, they're 3-1. This is great.
The Saints, they better
Saints
win.
Twitter is going to be disgusted.
Dave, I know
it's really the best of both worlds.
It's your pick, Dave, but I got to say, I haven't seen the Saints win a home game since the home opener against the Texans, and I will be in attendance Sunday. They better freaking win. But Dave,
I can't believe they have a home game. I feel like I haven't been to a Saints game in like forever. I got to figure out who's going to the game with me. All right, I'm gonna say, look, the Giants are terrible. Saints are at home. Finally, I think that'll feel good. I don't think the Giants have a chance. I'm gonna say Saints 24-10. I'm giving them a field goal. I don't know why, but I guess I'm feeling.
You think Will Lutz is back, or
I guess so.
Are we drop kicking the ball, or what's going on?
I guess so. I also apparently think we can hit all of our extra points after our touchdowns too.
That's right.
But I can't expect much from the offense, so I can't say they're going to score too many points. Obviously, Andrew, your prediction, I would say, shows the same thing. In fact, one of those touchdowns that I'm giving them might be coming from defense. And I say I like the way Cam Jordan looked last week. It's finally good to see him back. It's been like 2 years, I feel like, since we've really seen a good Cam Jordan.
That's right.
So I would like to see him continue.
He's going levels, the sacks.
Levels. Yeah, I'm gonna say levels. So I'm gonna say Cam Jordan's gonna have his return party.
Like that.
So I'll be honest. I turned in one score to Thomas, and my.
He looks like a star of the day for the Saints.
But then I changed my mind.
What?
Jameis is going to let it
this
loose
shit every week.
He is going to look good. Saints 31-10. My star of the day, formerly unvaccinated corner Debo. He's going to have a pick 6, but Jameis
he's still unvaccinated.
He's still, but we don't call him unvaccinated. He graduated from being unvaccinated, formerly known as unvaccinated.
But still unvaccinated corner. The cornerback formerly known as unvaccinated, but still unvaccinated. Paulson Adebo.
He's my player of the game. But Jameis gonna throw for 300 yards and 3 scores and no picks. And Saints are gonna be 3-1. It's gonna be a fun Sunday afternoon. So Kevin, give Kevin's pick, Thomas.
Thomas, can you pretend you're Kevin here? Can you do your best Kevin voice?
Yeah, I can do the best Kevin's voice. So I think I'm looking at it. I think it's gonna be a close game, guys. I think it's gonna be a close game, guys. I'm going with 23 to 20. And the start of the game is gonna be Taysom Hill.
Kevin sounds like.
Sorry, guys. I forgot to cover my microphone too.
He sounded like he sounded like the Penguin from Batman. If the Penguin from Batman was inhaling helium.
Polish?
I mean,
that's the worst joke I've ever heard.
Play the baby.
It sounds like a Russian hairless Cajun sound said.
Sorry, Kevin. By the way,
we need to get Kevin.
Don't
to just
get it
record.
personally.
Maybe Kevin could like record his pick and we could just play it.
So Kevin's kind of with me. He thinks it's going to be tight. We come down to the 2 minutes.
That's what she said.
I think the Saints are going to roll the Giants. I think the trap game that's going to might be a disaster is next week in Washington, not Sunday against the Giants. So before we get out of here, Thomas, for the first time ever, I'm going to do the rundown correctly.
Will you?
The clip of the week. What is it? And remind the people how they can do it.
Okay, guys. So you have the maximize button full screen on your stream, and to the left of it, you can click on the clip icon to clip it. You can then adjust and give a proper title to your clip. You can do it during the stream. It doesn't matter. Do it right now even. And finally, guys, somebody last week clipped the questions segment. Check it out.
Thomas, hit the music so I can do the finger guns.
And the shake weight.
And the shake weight.
I'm eating. By the way,
finally someone clipped the Ralph Shuffle.
Good.
Oh my God.
This makes,
Ralph Shuffle,
this
there
makes
it
the
is.
Saints look better.
It does. It's a good job. Who did that? Who did that, Thomas?
Clip by They Killed Brian.
Good job, They Killed Brian.
That's definitely the clip of the week.
Good job.
Well done.
So, once again, thanks to everybody. Support the freaking podcast. We are the best Saints podcast on earth. You can do it. It's $10 a month. You get the podcast every day. You get Andrew's grades. You get the booze bundle. I don't have the palette up. Play the My Wife clip, Thomas.
My wife.
Play it. So she'll ship it, and we'll ship international. Like we'll ship it international wherever you sign up. So do it. So,
even to Poland.
Even to Poland, we will.
Even to
Poland.
Welcome to Uganda.
Wait, can we get a Malta update?
We're number 4 in Malta, and frankly, I'm disappointed in what they're doing.
Yeah. What's our buddy? Remind me of our buddy in Malta,
Miguel.
Miguel.
What you doing, man? You haven't been downloading the show? We're just number 4. What's going on?
Stop watching.
It's Saints season,
AC
man.
Milan,
Yeah,
Juventus,
come on.
Serie A, and listen to this podcast 8-9 times a day. Come on,
Miguel.
So, but play the outro music.
You're better
Thomas,
than
we'll get out
number
of here.
4.
But I want to thank everybody for supporting the show, for joining us in the live stream. So for Dave, for Andrew, for Kevin, who's MIA, for Shooter McGavin for doing the intro, and for Thomas, executive producer extraordinaire, running the show back in Poland, doing an amazing job, trying to imitate Kevin. It was amazing. Guys, thanks for joining us. Remember, kids, don't shoot your dick off. And until next week, the bar is closed.